Xenon Killers. We have a lot of silence. This is still a scary deck to go up against. It can't still come back? No. Anything with 0 life in your yard can't come back. This hand's kind of cool. They have 2 Suffocates, and how many Annihilates? 0 Annihilates. The old 2/2 Conduit. Okay. They put an Amulet on this. Do I block? I don't think so. I think we try and race. I don't know what that could mean. I don't want to block. I don't think it means anything, but I also don't care about 2 damage. Seraph's kind of good here. But I'm going to try and race them. That could be wrong, especially because we're on the draw. Like, trying to race here without a guaranteed way of buffing Familiar seems kind of silly. But, yep, there's the Amulet. Blocking this is dumb unless I'm trying to save life, because the Amulet still triggers and it comes back, right? So, yeah. Alright, they had kind of a perfect start. Geez, these are awkward. These are awkward as hell. This card's really bad here. And we drew none of our silences. And none of our vanquishes. Those are the cards we want in this matchup. And instead we drew kind of the cards we don't. Gonna pretend this is correct. I think we're just gonna die. Trying to figure out how that doesn't happen. Mostly revolves around getting an obelisk at some point in the future, I think. That's bad for us. Now they get to load up again. Boy, they just have, like, a beautiful draw. Unless they don't have any more X5s. Or 5X. Uh-oh. The killers are out. The killers are out. Do you actually have something to bring it back? Oh, they're just... I should have blocked with this, because now this can come back and kill it. Yeah, I should have blocked with this. That was a mistake. I should have, like, 1,000% blocked with this card. Alright, so let's start thinking about our sideboard here. Oh, Dark Return. That doesn't kill us. But it does draw them infinite amounts of cards. Suffocate. Now we're dead. Oh, they had a really good draw. We had 0 silences. Pretty bad. Alright, so let's see here. This should be pretty straightforward. Like, their build's pretty straightforward. Ours is going to be pretty straightforward. They might bring in, like, plagues or something dumb. I don't know. We drew no silences, right? We just drew 0 silences. That was that game. Alright, this is too much crap. This is confusing me. Well, we've lost 3 games in a row. That's not good. Okay. This is cute, but is it too slow? Same thing with Praxis Displacer. Praxis Displacer. I don't know. They're playing a bunch of slow mid-rangey dudes, right? Umbran Reapers, Sandstorm Titans, Instigators, Suffocates, Instincts. They're playing Initiates, Copper Conduits. Okay, so no Oath Books. Yes to all this stuff. Silverwing Familiar kind of bad because it doesn't dodge any removal. The removal is Predator's Instincts. We can just kill them with anything else with a large weapon, right? Awakened Students, do they end up being big enough? I don't know. I'm not going to mess around with Stand Together or those. We're upping the Vanquish. We're not really going to change a whole lot. Do we try and go wider than them and not play the Xenon Obelisks? Made an extremely fast draw there. 4 amulets. This doesn't answer the amulet issue. If we were on the play, I'd really like this card, but I still don't know if we're going to be. I don't think they're bringing in Wasps, so it's literally just to try and preemptively silence like Dawnwalkers. I don't think that's a good use of our time. And then just cut down on Familiars. Basically cut 2 Familiars for 2 Praxis Displacers. And a Vanquish comes in for the Endurance Enabler. Maybe we just try and infinitely race them with this. But I think we'd rather try and manage their threats with silences and then just hammer them on home with whatever we have. Like 1 flyer. 1 big flyer. The rest just comes up the ground. The Awakened Students help go toe-to-toe with the Instigators. I could do something like this. Let's go down to 3 here and 3 here. Let's do that. Displacer lets you silence Breaker? What's a Breaker? Are you saying I have to get to 8 power and play Displacer and Steward of the Past in the same turn? Because that doesn't sound like a good plan. Unless I'm misreading what you're saying. Who's our opponent again? Oh, Copper Conduit? Is that what you mean? Silence Copper Conduit in their hand? That's kind of cool. But we don't... Is that the only good hit, really? Silencing Copper Conduit in their hand is cool, but... We don't know if we'd even draw it for that scenario. Like, I don't want to have too many 4-drops. Are these obelisks just bad? Like, we're trying to swarm them. Our obelisk is never going to make our units big enough. They stack, Empty Circle. They just stack. Obelisks might just be necessary to actually race them, though. We're going to do the worst idea in the world again. Again, we're going to do a bad idea. And just randomly try and get them with a Steward of the Prophecy. Because this doesn't really make most of their 5Xs like too small. I just wish I knew it was on the play or not. Hammer of Might's like so important in this matchup. Just to keep our big units coming. This deck has felt a little crowded at the 2 spot. I don't know. These Awakened Students maybe were supposed to be somewhere else on the curve. Something else. Reality Wardens? I just didn't have the crafty rocks for Reality Wardens. I had thought about trying to fit them in a deck somewhere, but it never worked out. Oh, I didn't see this. Why didn't I? I wish it was more obvious when I got notified, because I just spent extra time doing something. Is this stuff of Draft Dreams? It's the stuff of Constructed Dreams. Got our 2 of our most important cards in the matchup. I don't know how we win the game. But Marshall and Vanquish are pretty good. We have an Obelisk. This hand could go a lot of ways. But it's the kind of hand I like on the draw, at least. I mean, I hate Xenon Obelisk on the draw. But, I don't know, it's got a silence and a vanquish, right? Kind of got to roll with it. Yeah, this is pretty reactionary. Hopefully we find something to attack them with. And if they play Instigator here, I'm, like, super annoyed. I really don't want to use the silence on that, but if they have an amulet, I'm gonna have to, right? We'd silence it, not block, and then bank it. And that would just be so many resources we don't want to use. I guess we wouldn't have to vanquish it. Well, that's a bit later than we would have liked. I think I have to play it here. And hopefully they don't have, like, you know, Suffocate plus Amulet to really destroy us. Alright, we'll take it. Damn. Well, this is as good a time as any, right? It's still a 5-1, so they're going to draw a billion cards. So that's rough. We have, like, no way of punishing these cards, right? We have to somehow, like, silence them. Like, they still get to play a 5-1 here. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe I was actually supposed to silence their Friendly Wisp. Man, these cards are just going off for them. It's kind of insane. I've never seen Friendly Wisp be this good. Oh, well, now we're going to have to manage a lot of threats. Xenon Obelisk is tempting, so this can actually block this. We'll deal with these eventually. We just need to make sure we have bigger stuff on the ground, right? They have some number of Death Strikes, though, so making this a 6/6 isn't necessarily the answer to all of our problems. There's nothing worth vanquishing here unless I want to vank this and start racing. Let's see here. I could CRF vank, start beating the hell out of them. We're not favored in the long game, so maybe I just have to shorten it. But there's just going to be better vanquish targets, and I've got to be ready for that. I don't know how we're winning this. Obelisk makes Wasp kills Wisp. Yeah, but it doesn't kill them before they get triggered is the issue, right? We just have no way to deal with Wisp before they get triggered unless we silence them. That doesn't sound ideal. I guess that's a reason to play Obelisk is what you're saying. Like, we're trying to maximize it. Like, they're just going to trigger this before we can even silence it with Desert Marshal. Yeah. Oh, what? Alright, well, we can't just sit around not using our resources, so we'll silence one of them. How is that their best turn? I mean, that's kind of a good sign for us, right? I want to save this for a familiar. Whatever. You got to race, right? Our hand's kind of forced. You've got to put on some amount of pressure. I have to find a spot to play this Obelisk. Familiars aren't in the deck. We still have like 3 familiars. I didn't cut all of them. Dawnwalker, which we don't have a silence for. Don't get to hold up Wasp, and I really want to hold up Wasp. I don't want to swing into this until it's silenced. And there's nothing to vanquish. They have their own Wasp? Jeez, what a draw. Boy, we are getting put through the ringer. Our Flyers deck is getting beaten down by Flyers, right? How crazy is that? Like, this is actually insane. Like, our deck is nothing but Flyers. All of our cards are doing what they need to do. We're just going to lose anyways.
Bye.
Just cause. Just cause. Yeah, we're just dead. We're just dead. Wow. I mean, we're not dead quite yet, but we're basically dead. Like. So what do I need to do to win here? If they just whiff from here on out, right? Like, that's basically how we win. They need to whiff. So I need to use Vank and Hammer here. And, like, somehow that Hammer needs to hit a Valkyrie Enforcer and kind of turn it from there. This is such a bad use of Vanquish, but we need to so that we don't die. This can start activating next turn. I guess I need to make this a relevant blocker with Hammer of Might or something like that. I just don't know what to do here. Yeah, draw a Sigil Seraph into something silly. Like, part of me says I need to swing, and then another part of me is like, if you swing, there's just like a billion ways you die, right? Because of this. Like, even if I put a hammer on here, they can like double block this. I take 1, I go to 6. Yeah, we just have to play like they have nothing for the rest of the game. And Seraph bails us out. I just can't find another good course of action. Why didn't they block? Okay, so they just drew this, or they would have blocked with this. And now they just dominate us, right? We just get dominated. There's nothing that gets us out of here. Maybe a Roland's Honor Guard off of Seraph and they don't have removal? Nope, there's nothing that gets us out of here. That is game. Jeez. I think we found our bad matchup. That being said, our draw was incredibly poor for the matchup. We drew 0 Renegade, or we drew 0 Valkyrie Enforcers the entire 2 games. And that's easily our best card in the matchup. And you know, that comes with a 75 card deck variance, right? So we go from being 2-0 to 2-2. Sad times. But yeah, we're trying a different deck, seeing how the matchups work, and we got destroyed. We got absolutely destroyed.